It's gonna be a short stream. Because I have a meeting in like an hour. Evan, explain why TSTST 6 was on the test. I'll have a little more. It's hard for me to say much about test composition because I don't want to give away any information about the last day. So save your questions for day 3 review. Even then, it's hard for me to say too much because there's problems that don't get used that I also don't want to give away anything about. But I'll at least be able to say a little more then. It's hard for me to say anything on the day 2 stream. Am I allowed to say most ratings? I guess, although, I mean, they always change, like, after, I see the statistics. Can I say most ratings for day 1? 10, 25, 40. No, that was for day 1. That was for day 1. Yeah. No, like problem 6 is not 40. It's not. How is problem 3 of 40? Is that too low? Do you think it should be higher or lower? I feel like it's too high. You saw the scores, right? I was also surprised how low the scores are, to be clear. Like, I thought it was borderline too easy, but the solve rate was actually a bit lower than what I wanted. Decently high? Okay, what was it? Was it 10? Oh, was it as high as 10? Oh, actually, that is higher than I remember it. No, you're right. 10 solves. Okay. Yeah. I still feel like that, like, 40 is fine. I feel like if it's like 35, then we get like 15 solves-ish. Yeah, actually, that's higher than, because I graded problem 3 and I just remember like handing out like tons and tons of zeros, but I guess there were actually 10 sevens given out. What was Mo's on day 2? I haven't decided yet. It sounds like the thing I'm hearing is that 5 is harder than people expect. Is 1530 15 accurate? No. I think that's... Isn't Usama 2019 objectively easier? Well, first of all, you're saying objectively, so I'm already staring at you with like incredulous eyes. But no, I don't think so. Like, I think the Geo on Usama 2019 is harder than Geo on Usama 2014. I think the number theory from 4 is harder than the 2014 6 by a little. I don't know. Like, well, you can look at my ratings and see like I post all the ratings of my opinions on all the prompts. You can look at those and see which ones like, yeah. Are you gonna ping on Discord? Sure, why not? What modes was problem 6 considered? Like by me or the reviewers? So the reviewers do not submit their ratings by modes. They submit it by like something. I had it as, I definitely agree. Like problem 6 could be like a 2.5. Like I had it like, I'm still like not sure how to rate it because it's unusual. But
Evan, can you remove the Twitch ping rule?
Hi Derek. Did I server remove at Twitch in Otis? What happened? F. What was day 1? For day 1 I have 15, or sorry, day 1 I have 10, 25, 40 in my notes. I mean, that's my personal rating. Anyways, alright, let me get you authors. Yongliu. No. 5 is not on con. Surprise. Yes, it's a self-assigned rule, so if you do not want the pings, then you can remove the role and not get pinged. Rather than ask to remove the role for literally everyone. I'm gonna keep all the problems up because I think some people will probably like struggle in late. Yeah, I mean, and this is again why I always tell people to try all 3 problems, because like 5 and 6 I think are comparable difficulties. It sounds like a lot of you think that 5 is harder. Fine, but like I have to put the test like in an order, right? Like I cannot write. I thought 5 was way easier than 6. There is a lot of disagreement about the difficulty of 5. We thought, like, a lot of people thought it was like trivial, and then other people were like, this problem isn't actually easy. What are you guys smoking? So that's how it ended up in like the middle slot. If it's possible to recursion bash, it might be easy. Who knows? I just found 6 hard. Hello. All right. So, should I get started? Should I do one of those silly intros where I like kind of say hi for when I post this on YouTube? What do I say in my intro? Alright, well, I'll just wing it. We'll see what happens. Okay. Smile, look at camera. Alright, everyone. Welcome back. Today we're going to be going over the 3 problems from TSTST 2020. If you want to see where the problems are, look at the website. I'll have, once the 3rd day is done in January, I'll have all 3 problems on the website, complete with the official solutions. So this is just for the people who want to see the solutions extra early. I'll be talking about the solutions, a little bit of the background of the problems, and yeah, let's get started. Oh my god, Twitch. Alright, so let's start with problem 4. So, I'm going to first start by stating, at the risk of stating the obvious, GCD of A and B is going to be equal to 1. Just randomly cipher math? No. So I'm gonna... Alright, first of all, GCD of A, B is equal to 1. And this tells you that I can sort of treat the problem as a single divisibility. I can say AB divides A to the 4 plus 1, and... Well, the way that I'm going to want to write it is this. So, once I notice that these two guys are relatively prime, the problem condition, like 1 and 2, I can capture in a single line like this. Like A minus B all to the 4th plus 1. And the reason that I want to do this is that I'm trying to go for some size contradiction. Where I'm trying to say this guy is actually like bigger-ish than this guy. That's where this 3rd condition is going to come in, because I know that the floor of square root A and floor of square root B are like roughly equal to each other. So let's make this precise now. Let me make sure that I don't screw up these inequalities. We think that this is actually going to be about right, because if like say, let's say like the floor of square root A, floor of square root B is like some large number like 100, that means that A and B are somewhere between like 10,000 and 10,200. So this difference is like on the order of like 160 million, and this thing is about 1 million, and the difference is a factor of 16 that's constant. So to make this precise, let's say n is equal to the floor. So then what happens is the size of AB is at least n to the 4th. Whereas the size of a minus b is less than 2n to the 4. Not strictly less. This kind of is less than equal to. Less than equal to n to the 4th plus 1. So when the dust settles, what that means is that this quotient, which I'll denote by k now, is less than or equal to 16. Bye forever. Bye, I guess? Hello. Cool. So this is strong. It's like, okay, at this point, we've kind of used up all the conditions that we have is this finite, like these finitely many cases where for every value of k, there's like a single equation. And again, like the reason I did this is this floor thing basically promises you that the solution is going to be somehow based on size. So when you write it this way and get this guy to be small, this is what I want. So now at this point, if you know things about orders, this will help you a lot. Claim like x to the 4 has only 1 mod 8 or 2 as potential prime factors. There's a very standard argument. It's like you say x to the 4 is -1 mod a prime p, so x to the 8 is 1. So modulo any prime p, x has order 8 unless -1 is 1. So that's where that happens. But also, I might as well remark that yeah, A and B. Can A and B both be odd? That seems fine. Can A be even and B be odd? Yeah, okay, so the way I get rid of 2 is also can't have A be with, hang on a minute. Let's see. Yeah, I want to weed out the prime factor 2. I think that shouldn't, like 4 isn't going to happen because actually x to the 4th plus 1 is never 0 mod 4. So I just need to prevent it from being 2 mod 4, which would imply B is like 1 mod 4 and A is 0 mod 4. Or A is 1 mod 2 and 0 mod 2. Yeah, so also V2 of x to the 4 plus 1 is always at most 1. And if B minus A is odd, then AB is even. There we go. So I don't think this is even k equals 1 or 2. Like I think you'd roll it 2 because if the numerator is divisible by 2, so is the denominator, and the numerator only has one factor of 2. So consequently, k equals 1. Yeah, so k is 1 and then we're great. We're like, alright, now there's only one equation I have to solve. So that's fine. K equals 1, so now what are we doing? We're trying to solve the equation AB equals A minus B to the 4th plus 1. B minus A minus B, whatever you want. And we're like, okay, well, it's an equation, let's just do it. So we'll do what is definitely not the Buffalo way, and we'll let B equals A plus D, where D is at least 0. And expand. Yeah, and then what you get is like you get A times A plus D equals D to the 4 plus 1. And as people in Twitch understand, this is actually just a quadratic in, this is quadratic in A. Like quadratic equation in A. So all you need is the discriminant to be a perfect squared. Discriminant to be a square, and that discriminant is given exactly by b so d squared minus 4 d to the 4 plus 1 equals 4d to the 4 plus d squared plus 4. You can literally say AB greater than n to the 4. Oh, that's probably true. I just bound this directly. Oh, that requires a brain though. So Sparticle says this is less than n plus 1 to the 4 y. Okay. Okay, we can do that. That's fine. We'll go with switch up. However, n to the 4 less than AB less than n plus 1 to the 4 because of by the givens, so require AB equals n to the 4 plus 1 equals B minus A to the 4 plus 1. So what do I do in this state? You didn't say anything about ordered pairs. Pairs are always... You should always assume ordered pairs unless it says otherwise, like with the parentheses notation. Does I divide 17? No. I'm just gonna solve the quadratic so I don't get myself too confused. Basically, you want this to be a perfect square, and whenever you have a polynomial whose leading coefficient is a square and which is even degree, you can bound the number of times it's a perfect square by sandwiching it between two squares. This guy is between 4d to the 4 and 2d squared plus 1 all squared. So this requires... Sorry, 2d squared this is for d greater than 1. And this inequality is actually strict as well, so okay. Yeah. So this requires d is less either equal to 0 or 1. When you solve, this extracts the pairs 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. Evan, I need your opinion on this. Does 1.5 divide 6? First of all, why? Second of all, for any definition, yes. You can either, if your definition of divide is the dumb one where you say the quotient is an integer, then yes, I mean the quotient is 4. If your question is, does 1.5 divide 6 as elements of Q, the answer is yes, but over a field, divisibility is stupid. If you have an arbitrary ring, you can... Why is that the dumb one? I mean, for 3VT's question, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you're working over the ring Z, it's fine. But if you're, like... I don't know, what do you offer me in general? Like... For a general ring R, you say that, like, A divides B... So there is a definition for a ring. Like, just you say A divides B if, like, there is an element of the ring such that A times R equals B. The problem is that, like, the ring containing 1.5 and 6 is probably like... Well, I mean, presumably you were in Q, and then it's stupid. For a general ring, oh, sorry. For a general commutative ring, because I assume my rings are commutative. You're welcome. Let's go on. Oh, right, I forgot to tell you about where this problem comes from. So the very long story is that this problem is the key result of the following paper, 1903 02067.pdf. And I will actually put it on for you guys to see. Where where is it? Something here. Yeah, I don't actually understand the details, but the context that the authors tell me is that you have a pair of elliptic curves over. You have a pair of elliptic curves over, and I'm just saying the words. I don't know what these words mean. FAFB such that the number of points on one is the field size of the other. And the relevant buzzword here is Haas-bound, gives you n squared less than AB less than n plus 1 squared. Thank you, 3VT, for the cheer. Yeah, and the divisibility conditions are telling you something that the embedding degree of each curve is 8. This is just what the author notes that I got sent say. Yang Liu. Yeah, so when you look at the paper, my understanding is that this problem is the 8-8 in this proposition. Like the 8s somehow encode this A divides B to the 4 plus 1, B divides A to the 4 plus 1 thing. And yeah. So you can see the 16 thing coming up, the Q. Cool. Let's go on. So for problem 5, for the people that weren't here earlier, authors are Ashwin, Sa, and Matab Soni. A divides is order A, B equals A. Yeah, I think something like this. So there's a few various solutions, but let me first draw a picture. So this problem comes from, the context behind this problem is young tableau. And so I'm going to draw my set S accordingly. But I mean, you can also use points. It doesn't matter for the contest itself. Okay. So points that look like this. And I couldn't figure out what that did. It doesn't do anything. It's just the context that the problem came from is young tableau, but knowing the word young tableau or any of the related theorems like the hook length formula does absolutely nothing for helping you solve this. Actually, maybe that's, unless like you also happen to like know the result. I guess that's possible. The height always decrease by at most 1. This set is bad. What do you mean this set? Did I screw up? Are you playing this? What? Is this a known result? I have to look at the author notes again. I didn't copy them down carefully. Oh, because like
Evan, you should check out the categories on your screen.
Oh.
the cat. Oh, dang it. That's a mistake. Yeah, normally I have a calendar reminder to change the category back to science and technology before the stream starts. But I didn't have, but I have a special stream, so I forgot to claim I am not playing Stefan Sausage Roll. Alright. Yeah, okay. Maybe it is more believable if I do that. So, the thing I want is that, like, this thing looks like a staircase. So if I take, like, a set P, a point P, this one is arbitrary, but I'm going to just look at this one in particular. Idea, staircase. This is not literally a staircase because it's a Young tableau, but a staircase is rectangle plus 2 staircases, and that's sort of what I'm going to do here. Why transfer to MIT? I wrote a blog post about it at some point. You can look it up. Basically, I fit in better at MIT. This is a shorts version. Like, I do not like random housing. I want to live with my friends. Yeah, I transferred from Harvard to MIT when I was an undergrad. So, let me nail down the exact definition. We'll say like a square P, a cell P is pivotal if P plus 1 comma 1 is absent and the red rectangle has even size. So this one should be not there, and then I want this red rectangle even size. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my sets into 2 types. So if it contains P, if a set contains P, and if a set doesn't contain P. So if the set doesn't contain P, then, I mean, you delete P and everything above it, and I still have a Young tableau left, so you can just straight use the induction hypothesis. And if it does contain P, then then the set has to contain this whole red rectangle. So now I have 2 more staircases, and you can say, let's call this guy staircase 1, let's call this guy staircase 2. I'm using the word staircase when I really should say Young tableau, but staircase is better. It communicates intuition better. So even sets E1, E2 plus odd 1, odd 2. And the number of odd sets is E1, O2 plus O1, E2. And by induction hypothesis, E1 is bigger than O1, E2, number of even sets here, is bigger than O2. So then, yeah, E1 minus O1, E2 minus O2 is non-negative, and we're done. And that's it. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't... You can call it enrichment inequality. I wouldn't really call it that, honestly. I guess that is what it is. I just think of it this way because it's like such a special case. I feel like when I see these expressions, I automatically know the even one is bigger. Thank you, ABT, for the chair. I should mention that this solution was given by Nikolai Beluhov. It was not the author's original solution. The author sent in some monstrosity with a lot of partition symbols, and then Nikolai came up with this solution, so I didn't read the monstrosity. Am I using 3 PCs? I have... You can look at the picture on the page there, but I have 1 gaming PC, 1 with 3 monitors attached, 1 iPad, and 1 laptop. Thank you, Fukano, too, for the shout out. Yes, we recently hit 1K subs. Okay, let's go into the geometry. Yeah, we also broke 1024. I think by the time I got the email that said I had 1,000 subs, the number was actually like 1,080 or something like that. Okay, we got a 30-second ad break a few minutes ago, so we'll take a quick break while I try to figure out what message from 3VT apparently I missed. And cool. We got it. We're doing the ad break. Doing the ad break. Yeah, if you missed the solution to 5, here is it. This is roughly a complete solution. What you do is that I should comment that a cell is like a pivotal cell exists, but it's very easy to see that one exists. If the first row has at least 2 cells, you're fine. If not, the second, take the first cell of the second row. What was the solution? I will post the author's solution at some point, but I actually haven't read it because it's just like, I think it's just worse than this one. Oh. I'm sorry. Thank you, Data Calculator, for the cheer. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize the name had changed. Yes, you can just pick red rectangle to even size. So you don't need it to be like the... You only need 1 to be missing. So the argument goes, if the first row has at least 2 cells, one of them works. And yeah, even number of squares. And if the first row is only 1 cell, then and this cell doesn't work, then the one below it works. That's the whole argument for why why you can pick a blue cell. That argument seems pretty crucial. Alright, thanks Started for the cheer. Who wrote problem 4? Problem 4 is Yang Liu. That's fair. Yeah, I am using something when I do this. But no. Okay, let's do the geo. I will say, I think the hardest part of this problem 6 is that the number was 6 and it looks really scary. So even if like not a lot of people solve it, I might not be convinced that this problem is hard. But I might be at least convinced that it's like not 1-4. Yeah. Why did that show up twice? You go away. Alright, so let's let T denote the concurrency point. Yeah. I'm presenting the hyperbola solution? No. I actually haven't looked into it, although I yeah, I haven't actually read your solution posted yet. Yeah, this problem exists. Okay, so let T be the concurrency point, and as everyone knows, not everyone knows this, but the thing about this problem, for the people that haven't seen this before, the converse of this problem is very, very classical. If A, B, C, D are cyclic, then in complex numbers, like the orthocenter is A plus B plus C, so like the line through D and the orthocenter of ABC and the 3 other symmetric lines will all meet at, in fact, have midpoints A plus B plus C plus D over 2. So the converse is, I'll just say the converse is very classical. If you haven't seen it, pull out complex numbers, do it. It won't take you very long. So we're trying to go the other way. So T is the midpoint given these conditions. So what I'm going to say is that, first of all, AQ is parallel to BP because they're both perpendicular to AC. Also, those lines are different from each other. So I'll write AQ parallel PB, those are the dark red ones, and then apply the symmetric thing to say that BR parallel to QC and CP parallel to RA. So now you have what we... So now if you look at AQ, C, PBR, opposite sides are parallel and diagonals are concurrent at T. And this is enough to tell you that the hexagon is centrally symmetric around the point T. So so basically the parallel and the concurrence is enough to give you the things you want. And then, like, wouldn't someone naturally think about the converse? Like, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, it's not like we're trying to hide it. It's still, like, the problem is to prove it even with knowledge of the converse. Okay, anyways, to finish, because PD is perpendicular to BC and that's parallel to QR, you get that D is the orthocenter of PQR. Yeah, at this point, you get the parallelogram, so this is perpendicular. So great, D is the orthocenter PQR, And by symmetry, yeah, T is also the midpoint of DH. That's the last piece. So the parallels give you, this is the main work here, is this step. It's like, okay, I have a hexagon whose opposite sides are parallel and whose diagonals concur at a point. And then, there we go. Why is 7 complex? How am I overcomplex? Like, I'm just presenting a solution. Is this like, isn't this like shorter? Okay, I don't know. Like, I don't even construct any additional points. I'm about to because I had to get the cyclic, but anyways. Okay, so T is the midpoint of AP, BQ, CR, DH. How do I get that D is the orthocenter? So what happens, this is the big step. Once I have it centrally symmetric, I already have 3 of the midpoints and I just need the 4th one. So at this time, I already know that i.e. ABC is reflection of PQR through T. So that will give you the orthocenter already because like it will tell you that PD and AH are both perpendicular to QR and so on. Shrink the font size a little. Why can't we say BCQR is parallelogram? It's this step here. Like, if I have a parallelogram, if I have a hexagon whose opposite sides are parallel and whose diagonals are concurrent, then it is like it's centrally symmetric. I agree this problem does not belong in the number 3 slot. The issue is like the problem 5 doesn't as well. So like what do you want me to do? Man, I said I wasn't going to talk about the... Okay. Is a centrally symmetric thing well known? I wouldn't say it's well known, but it's not very hard to check. Like, I'll draw a picture because people seem stuck on to be hung up on that step, and I want to convince you that the step is actually easy. So, this button. So here's the claim. If you have a hexagon, and the diagonals are concurrent, and the corresponding sides are parallel, then midpoint. Okay, so here's the proof. Actually, I'll use the same point names. What did I say? AQCPBR, right? So because parallel lines, I need to name that point. T. So AT over TB is equal to QT over TP. Oh, frick. Ah! I flipped the points! Okay, let's try that again. I was like, why is it so not symmetric? Alright, let's try that again. AT over TP is equal to QT over TB, and then again by parallel lines, that's equal to CT over TR. And again by parallel lines, that's equal to TP over PT over AT. TA, or whatever. So therefore they're all equal to 1. Or yeah, Bryan-Kahn plus Pascal works too. But that sounds fancier than it needs to be. How did AT QT over TB? Because like this AQ is parallel to BP, like the parallel lines. This is since like AQ parallel BP. Yeah. Okay, so it sounds like I have to write that out in the solutions then, because people might get confused if I just like said this is true. But I guess I should write it out. Evan, why do you use $@ number percent instead of the usual at number percent dollar? So the quote unquote usual way to do this is that it's 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is completely off topic, but the story is that when I was like 11. Actually, probably younger than that. Probably when I was like 9. I was reading like a comic book. I think it was like a Yu-Gi-Oh manga or something. And there was a place where a character swore, and he used like $@ number percent. And when I saw that, I didn't know what it meant because I was too young. So I memorized the sequence of the characters, and still remember it apparently. Yeah, so it's actually really easy to remember. The way you remember it is you imagine it's telling you that the amount of money you have has just decreased by a factor of 100. So $@ number percent, the way I remembered it when I was 9 is like it was saying that the amount of money I had decreased by a factor of 100. So that's why I still remember the sequence of characters. No, at is literally at. Number, dollar is money and number is amount. Okay, let's finish. So let S be the centroid. And then let O equals, oh no, LaTeX error, another LaTeX error. 1 moment please. LaTeX is very brittle. Let O equals 2 times S minus T. Jeez. Okay, then claim O is equidistant from everyone. So up at this point we know that like each like vertex is the yeah, we have all the orthocenter conditions, so like PQR, T are all PQR, H are all orthocenters, blah blah blah, and everything is great. And so now all we have to do to finish is that claim O is the desired point. Why is that true? Let's just prove OB is equal to OC. So T is the midpoint of the foot from A and D. And the projection here is like lands on the average of them. So I'll do it this way. Let's call A prime, O prime, S prime, D prime. Look at the x coordinates is basically what I'm saying. If I look at the x coordinates, then S prime is the average of A prime plus D prime plus B plus C. Whereas T prime is the average of A and D. So now O prime is the average of B and C. So basically just look at the x-coordinates, and the x-coordinate of O is the average of the x-coordinates of B and C, because this is the average of A and D, and this is the average of all four. So the x-coordinate does what I want, and that concludes the proof. I need to shrink things a little. I claim the radical center solution is better. Whatever you want. I haven't gotten to... Yeah. Because I did the stream on a Monday instead of a Tuesday, I would have wanted to do Tuesday so I had a bit more time to look at AOPS, but apparently OMO ends tomorrow, and they may or may not have a math jam. So, shrug. Yeah, I don't think this do exist. Well, okay, so this was the author solution. I don't... That'd be true. Let's see. Why doesn't Olympiad NT exist very much? It's harder to... Well, okay, few reasons. First of all, Diophantine equations are out of fashion. So, like, you know, right now in algebra, I can just, like, make up a functional equation, and it still, like, can be submitted to a... You know, it can still be submitted to a thing, to contests, and they might take them. But, that's not true for Diophantines. Like, if you submit a Diophantine equation now, people just kind of laugh at you. The other reasons are, like, it's really hard to write good elementary number theory because it's easy to accidentally require more than is reasonable for high school students to know. Like, the set of ideas that are considered permissible for elementary number theory is small. How come JMO 2017-2 exists? I don't know. For IMO, like, Diophantines are definitely out of fashion, I think, though. Like, if you look at the recent IMO shortlist, like, you just don't see straight Diophantine equations very often. I guess IMO 2019-4 had one. But, like, you probably just don't see things that look like 3 to the x plus 4 to the y equals 5 to the z flavor problems anymore, I think. Yeah, I mean, if it's good, like... Yeah, fashion is weird, okay? It's arbitrary by definition. I'm not going to try to justify it. Alright. Why does the good ISL NT never get accepted? I don't think that's true. I think if you ask most people, the consensus is probably the NT section is there aren't that many good NT prompts submitted to each IMO period, I think, is my feeling. Alright. .2019 entry was amazing on a Dimic IMO. Yeah, I also the jury is also quite random. Like because they're the way Jeff Smith would say it is that when you have 100 people from very different cultures and backgrounds trying to vote on a test, you will always have. We have one time for one lightning FTW game. Okay, fine. One lightning FTW. Do we have time for Usama 1998 one? I'm gonna say probably not. Where's FTW? I don't even remember. Yeah, I have like 3.5 minutes. So this is gonna get close. But it's okay. Alright, for whoever wants to play... I'm not gonna make it quite lightning. Yeah, that's a lot of people. Alright, let's go. Nice try. Oh. I feel like I've used that thing on like Nimo contests or something many times. Oh, okay, time to ban someone. Ban. Oh, frick. So I caught another one of the bots that there's a bunch of bots that try to like sell you like viewers or something. Like they have. How is this a geometric? Oh. They try to sell you services where they will like inflate your viewer count by having bots view your channel. It's almost 5:15. It's not the end of the world if I'm like a couple minutes late. So just one piece. That was really hard to read. Wanna be famous? Honestly, not really. Lame. Got one first. You are famous too. That depends on like there's magnitudes of fame. I feel like right now I'm lucky in the sense that like the people who actually do math contests know who I am, but the people who don't. So the only people who come to my channel are people who are not going to just be, like, I don't know, post random advertisements or something. Like if you look at the Twitch chat for like an average famous, what about the Hanabi players? Are you referencing the fact that like the Hanabi players randomly know who I am or what? Frick. What? Whatever. I guess you're not famous there, yeah. Alright, I have a meeting to run to. Oh, but yeah, thanks everyone. Hope you had fun. See y'all.